Blue Jays and the Dodgers tonight. Frozen frenzy. Every hockey game, every hockey team on the planet playing tonight. NBA, tons to talk about. You're watching the best betting show ever. We're here to make you guys money. That's what the show is about. Sports is our canvas. Joe Raineri, Art DiCesare, they're our artists. How are you guys?
Tired.
Yes. Me too, Joe. I made it to 3 a.m. watching that game. Horrible ending for Blue Jay fans, but we cashed another baseball bet. 13-3 run. No wonder the Westgate doesn't take my action, Art. Go with it, Art. Go with it, Art.
Listen, we know you had Dodgers run line. So you were looking for that 2-run homer.
Yep.
We know all about you. Now you did have the over. I'll give you that. So God bless you. But,
I had over four and a half runs team total. LA Dodgers. How did our parlay go, boys?
That's a good question. How did our parlay go?
Joe, Orlando on the money line, I think was your leg.
Yes, I had. No, I didn't have Orlando, did I?
God, we don't even remember.
I don't even remember. We did win. All right, good. That's all that matters.
I have no idea, Joe.
Yes.
And people ask all the time, Prez, what's the parlay of the day record? What's your record in the NHL rundown? What's your record on WKW radio? What's your record on CKNY?
I'll tell you right now, we had Brian Power on the show yesterday, so chances are I just assumed we'd lose. So that was the end of that there. So I'm just saying that's
Art DiCesare is back with us now. Hit the like button, everybody. Let's get into this. Art, NFL. I think we had almost every favorite win. Almost every game went over. I'm guessing that did not bode well for the books, but hey, who knows? Maybe you guys kicked ass. How did the books do in NFL?
Well, it's funny. I've come on here the last couple of weeks and said we've lost in the NFL, and you would have thought, right, with what was it, 11-2 the favorites were, and the average margin of victory was like 20 points. You would think, oh man, we got slaughtered in the NFL again. But the two outright dogs that won, Miami and the Jets, those were like the best case scenarios for us. So we actually won money Sunday. It was really nice to turn a profit on a day where I'm going to assume most books got slaughtered because of like what I said, that record. Denver was actually pretty good for us as well. Like I said, we always take Cowboy money. Now, the Monday night result wasn't that great because obviously there were plenty of things running into the Chiefs on teasers, on moneyline parlays, even on just parlay cards with the Chiefs minus 10.5. So Monday night is great, but Sunday, really good result.
What about some of those other games that we talked to all week long? Our teams like, Carolina getting all that money last week against, Buffalo. New Orleans was another one that got a ton of money with the, you talked about those games all week long. They kept popping up here on where's the money going here. How did the books ultimately do with those?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the other results, like when you just look at like Buffalo was not good because there was that stream of Carolina early money, but then, Buffalo gets hit on all the teasers, all the money line parlays. The Saints one was interesting because that actually saw pretty good two-way after the initial Saint money. We're actually going to talk about the Saints game for this upcoming week. I say it every week. They bet the Saints every week, and they do, but then there was some public money on Tampa, so kind of just balanced everything out. But I'm going to say it again. We really got the two favorites to lose that we needed to lose.
The key
which was
ones.
Cincinnati and Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to tell you right now, the Atlanta one was the biggest one. The money tied to Atlanta parlays and teasers was number one for us on Sunday. Yeah.
Art, let's stay with NFL. We're going to come back to how you did in college football right after, but let's stay with NFL and where the money is going this weekend. And you want to talk about the Chargers game. All over the map right now, Art, we've got a 9.5 at one book and a 10.5 at another, and 10s at about 70% of the book. Where is the Westgate on this Chargers game? where is it going? And tell us about the Broncos, Texans, and of course the Saints and Rams.
Yeah, so that Charger game, like you said, it's kind of as low as, like you said, 9.5, as high as 10.5. We're in the middle at 10, and that's because we opened 9.5 and we took sharp money on the Chargers at that 9.5. So we moved to 10. We didn't feel the full point was necessary, obviously, early in the week, lower limits, but we did want to move the half point off the sharp information. Denver and Houston, we opened Denver as a small favorite, -1. And now you're looking at Houston -1.5. Obviously, Denver's going to miss one of the best defensive players in the league in Surtain.
Yeah.
Houston at home again. They look really good on Sunday. I know the Niners are banged up, but Houston kind of got their mojo back. So that's why you've seen Houston now flip to the 1.5 point favorite. Obviously, the total went down a little bit as well. And then the Saints, we had the Rams 13.5, and we took money there. Then we got to 14.5, and then we took Saint money. So now we're back in the middle. Really good two-way action. I think we felt really comfortable when we got to the 14.5 that we would entice some Saints bets. Obviously, it's an enormous spread. The Rams are going to be a free bingo square this week with money line, parlays, all that type of stuff. But you have seen the 13.5 money and then the 14.5 money on that game.
Joe, I'm jumping in real quick here because I know it's your turn. But I want to talk about the Houston-Denver. One of the things you said, and I mean, full disclosure, I'm interested in this total. So you're helping me, Art. You mentioned going up, going down. I'm seeing 40s and a 39, but I'm seeing more 40s. I'm also seeing 94% of the money being written on the over. I think 39.5 might be the best, the lowest total we get if we're looking to bet over. Do you not agree there, or you think this might still go down more?
It's interesting when you lose one of the best defensive players in the league, like the Broncos did, you would think, oh man, this total's probably going to shoot up a little bit. But you also have to remember that Houston defense, maybe the best unit in the league, right? I mean, it might be the best defensive unit in the league. It's right there. So I think you're right. Maybe we've hit the bottom here at 39.5. It's possible, but for us, we saw it tick down a little bit. So, I can only speak, whenever you give out these numbers, 90%, 94%, obviously I can only speak to what I see at the Westgate, and that's obviously what we've seen so far. When I come back on Friday and we're sitting here and maybe the total's 41, well, that's possible.
Yeah. Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt downgraded to unlikely to play. Joe?
Yeah, well, I mean, should have played last week too. What are you thinking here, Art, for college football this week? How did you do last week, given it wasn't... I mean, a Texas game was very interesting there with the crazy comeback, but it doesn't look like Arch will be in play here this week. Vandy in Missouri was also crazy. Any big moves one way or the other that cost the book last week?
College football, I want to say this is 4 or 5 straight weeks I've come on and said we did really well on college football. College football was another really good week. Not as good as the past two, but a positive week. I would say the 3 games that really helped us, K-State was really good for us. Cincinnati was really good for us. And the number one game that was good for us was South Florida. That was the number one game where we really cleaned up on.
Art DiCesare joining us. Guys, hit that like button, comment, please. Over 5,000 of you guys are watching this show every single day on our YouTube channel. A lot more of you on our Apple Podcasts, our Spotify. We're everywhere. You can see us on every podcast distributor, if you will. Help us make this show the biggest in the world. Seriously, guys, this show's incredible. And I know that I'm subjective. I understand. Art, you do a lot of shows, bro. This show...
I do.
A guy made a comment yesterday in the comment section on this show that sums the show up perfectly. Now, this is how sports betting talk should be. And I agree. The show is funny. It's entertaining. It's informative as hell. And it's tight. So please, guys, help us make this the biggest show out there. Let's get to 10,000 regular daily viewers, please. Art DiCesare, we're got our parlay of the day coming your way. But before
not
that,
going to do it. There we go. There you go. Yeah. We're
Go,
not parlaying it a day. We're going to finish what we're doing with college first because there's 3 games that have been steamed out the ass, Art, early on this week. And I'm still trying to figure out what's going on here with the second one you're going to talk about with Michigan State and Minnesota. But Vandy and Texas,
I'm not betting Minnesota. For the record, bloody Michigan State.
Yeah, listen, we just mentioned, and you mentioned Arch, Joe. You know, Texas, we opened as a 2.5-point home favorite. Sharps took Vandy right away on that, so we're now 1.5 on the game. And Vandy's kind of been a darling for a lot of people who got in on them early in the season. Now there's some people coming maybe a little late to the party, but Vandy now feels like every week they take money. So, you know, Vandy is one of those teams. The Michigan State-Minnesota game is fascinating, right? I mean, you had Minnesota. We opened as high as a 5-point favorite, and then Michigan State took money at 5 and 4. We're now Minnesota as a 3-point home favorite in that game. And then you mentioned the Arizona State quarterback, Prez. We opened Iowa State as a 4.5-point favorite. Sharp money came in instantly on that. It's 6. Now, here's the question. How high can we get on this game? Because I think even with the quarterback being out, if it hits 7, they're going to take Arizona State at 7. So do we get there? We probably do. But then there's the complete buyback on that football number of 7. So it'll be interesting to monitor that game for the rest of the week.
I don't get it. I don't get the whole Iowa State love. I don't care who's playing quarterback for Arizona State. I had BYU against Iowa State last week, Art. I think Iowa State has been overrated from the get-go here. If that thing hits 7, I would imagine the buyback's going to happen pretty instantaneous, no?
Oh, I think there's no doubt about it. And I think, you know, it moving 1.5 quickly yesterday. And, you know, on Monday, I always want to say this on Monday. Totals you could see move 2.5 points. You know, a side to move a point is very normal. When you start to get to 1.5, 2.5 on a side, those are the ones that really stand out to you on an early Monday. Now, I get that this has to do with a quarterback injury, which is always going to move a number, but I think the early side moves, when you get to the 1.5 and higher, those are the ones you really have to kind of circle and see what's the apex of the number going to be, what's the buyback. You know, we're going to probably need to avoid middles on those type of games. So those are always really things that we want to avoid on a Saturday because you never want to get middled on a game.
Yeah. Unbelievable information from Art DiCesare. What's the difference between instantly and instantaneously, Joe?
The spelling?
There we go. Mic drop from Joe Raineri. Boys, lots of show left. Parlay of the day still to come. To fade or not, we're going to look at the NFC division leaders. We're going to go through a couple of college football bets, couple of NFL bets, every NHL game and every NBA game. And we'll end the show with our mailbox segment. Art DiCesare, parlay of the day. I'll go first. Edmonton Oilers in regulation. Plus, it's a pick 'em.
Art.
Oh, I like it. All right, so my Rangers cannot score goals.
Yes,
so I'm
they
taking
can.
the under in their game. They just can't score. They're awful.
I love
I'm ready
that
to bet
pick.
them no on the playoffs. So I'm going under 6, minus 120 in their game versus Vancouver tonight.
Nice.
Wait, you got a 6 on that game? That's incredible. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that bet. I love that bet. Thank you. I thought it was almost all 5.5s, Joe.
Interesting. Miami Heat on the money line here tonight at home against Charlotte.
There we go.
Cool.
Stylish shirt you got there going, Joe.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes,
Travis Matthew.
yes.
Thank you.
You're going to tell us what brand the damn shirt is, who you think you're talking to.
Well, you, because I know that was going to be the next thing. Is that Izod? Is it like, what is that? Is that Fiore? Like what? Yes, I know that was coming. So
that was good, Joe.
He's on the red carpet at the Emmys. Who are you wearing?
Exactly. Yeah. So I knew it was coming on. I just cut that shit right off right there and we ended it. Good to go.
Nailed it.
Done.
Art DiCesare, supposedly Joe Raineri is playing bass on today's show.
No. Tomorrow. Look, it was Wednesday. It wasn't Tuesday. It was Wednesday.
Happening.
No, listen.
Prez.
Yeah, let me just show you guys here so you guys can
Oh,
see
here
it.
he goes.
Okay. It's here, Prez. I got it. All right.
Whoa!
So it's there,
Whoa!
and it's happening tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Good to go.
Can we request a song? People in the comment section request what song has your favorite
Somebody
bass
already
line?
wanted like another one bites the dust. I told Mike can teach you how to play that, Prez, in about 3 minutes. So we're good to go.
Well, I would say what song has your favorite bass line of all time? I mean, so you know what, Joe?
Oh no.
Let's go with a Flea song, Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you're gonna pull out the bass, play. I want you in diapers.
No, not doing
Playing.
it. No.
Okay.
We're going blues. We're going
Something like
all
this? What are we
blues,
doing?
Press. We're all
You're gonna
going
play
BB King.
12
We're all
bar
going
bass?
Albert King. We're going all
right.
blues.
Okay. Art
Bernard
DiCesare,
King.
Joe Raineri,
Mhm.
let's keep moving, brother. Fade or not fade, we're talking NFC division leaders. We'll start with the Philadelphia Eagles. This Philadelphia Eagles team happens to be on a bye week for them, but moving forward, they are a bet on team for me, Art.
Yeah, I mean, Prez, you've kind of been on this where they were going to find their mojo in the middle of the season, and maybe they broke out last week against my Giants. Saquon had a really nice game.
Yeah.
Listen, I still think Hurts is a little iffy, but I guess when you look at the division moving forward, they're clearly the best team. All the other teams have so many problems. So, yeah, I guess they probably are a bet on team.
Joe?
The Eagles are tough, man. I feel like they're heading in the right direction. I think health is a concern for them here. And I just think there's a few other NFC teams we're probably going to cover here that are better bets long term. But I do think the Eagles are never going to be a value play, Prez. From here on out, I don't see the market adjusting and giving us a chance to get any value on them.
So, firstly, move the yellow to fade or not fade, and secondly,
thank you.
To quote a very smart orange man, we had no value on the Tom Brady era either. We have no value on the Patrick Mahomes era either, and yet all they do is cover. This Philadelphia team is underrated in every facet. The Green Bay Packers, guys, 5-1. They are a huge favorite at -13, -12.5 against Carolina. Makes total sense to me. Their defense is excellent. Their offense is well balanced. This is a bet on team. I don't know if I can get to the window at -13, but I got to tell you, boys, I'd be very surprised if they don't cover that number. Art?
I'm with you, Chris. I know it's an enormous number, but Carolina's not good. I don't care. A couple of the wacky wins they've had this year. The defense is starting to round into shape for Green Bay, which you love. I think Love gets better every week. Tucker Kraft, we know how good he is. The running backs, they got a lot of weapons, and I love the coach. I think moving forward, Green Bay definitely a bet on team.
Joe?
We said the same shit about this team after they destroyed Detroit in game 1, and then they go to Dallas as a huge favorite, and then they shit the bed, and it's a tie against Cleveland, and then Dallas where they tied the I don't know. This team is heckle. I don't know. It's Jekyll and Hyde to me. I'm a wait and see. They looked great against Pittsburgh, but let me ask you guys, Art, can they put 2 goddamn games together that look like what we got against Pittsburgh? Because they haven't done it yet, guys.
To be fair, they didn't even put 2 halves together against Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, first half they were all, but they're getting it done in that second half. Yeah, I'm with you, Prez. I like Green Bay too.
Yeah, they're getting it done. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, I can't bet against this team. Baker's doing something great. There's no wide receivers, and they're still all they do is win. They play horrible, and all they do is cover. They've got to have some type of regression. I'm concerned about this Tampa Bay team, but with that said, they're going to be getting guns back. I don't know what to do here, Art. I'm confused.
I'm with you. It's a wait and see for me. Obviously, they've been excellent. They're on this bye. They're bye this week. They need guys back like Bucky Irving and some of their other guys. They just need to get guys back. But it might be, pick your spots with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Joe.
Just bet him now to win the division. I don't care what the price is. Atlanta, Raheem Morris is going to be fired in the next 4 games. There is nobody catching them in that division. It's an easy bet. I don't know what their prop is to make the playoffs, but they're an easy bet as far as I'm concerned moving forward with Tampa.
The Seattle Seahawks and the Rams. Seattle now, Joe, Art, it came out at 2.5. It's now 3.5 on the road against Washington. This is a team I'm going to be looking to take unders with. I don't think I can get to the window this week. I'm wait and see approach on the actual team, but I will look to bet on the under. The Rams are going to crush New Orleans this week, but I don't think they're a bet on team in a big favorite role. I don't know if they're going to create a lot of distance for the rest of the season. Art?
I really like both teams. Obviously, that division's wonderful when you throw San Francisco in there. I love Seattle's interior play, both sides of the ball. I think Darnold's good enough. Obviously, the receivers, maybe the best receiver in the league, and the coach is good. Seattle, I like. I mean, what's there not to like about the Rams? Their coach and quarterback are amazing. They have a pass rush. I'm with you, Prez. Maybe you don't want to lay 14.5 this week, but I think both teams have real legitimate shots to say they could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know if Seattle does, Art, but I mean, I still think there's, you've still got Detroit, Green Bay, Philly.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those teams are going to get to the Super Bowl, but I would take the Rams over the Seahawks. Joe, what are your thoughts?
Seattle on the road has been absolute money when under McDonald here since he's taken them. And that goes back to last year, too. They have been absolutely phenomenal. Great defense, championship-style defense there. They got a good running game. Sam Darnold is the question mark, but if they don't ask him to do a whole lot, they're legit. They can beat anybody.
Yeah, and he's got good ball management, Sam Darnold, right now. So that's to the credit of their coach. He's really Trent Dilfering his way down the field. Other than that,
well, he actually throws the ball, though. Like, that was not Trent Dilfer.
He does. But Trent threw the ball 21 times or so. Anyway,
he threw screen passes. Like, he never threw. He didn't have, JSN. He certainly didn't have the number one receiver in the NFL.
More like Flacco with Lewis coming out of the backfield.
Exactly.
Art, what does the Westgate have to promote? Anything special going on over there?
No, just listen. This is obviously an enormous time of the year. I mean, listen, we got college basketball on Monday, so throw another sport into the hopper, and away we go. This is a great time to be working in sportsbook, to be betting, all that type of stuff. So, listen, I'll be back tomorrow with plenty more information.
One question before you go, Art. One question before you go, though. Number one, any movement tonight in these 2 college football games? And what about the World Series? Are you seeing, after that craziness last night, are you seeing anything at the book one way, or is everyone just backing Ohtani tonight? What are you seeing? Anything?
Well, the college football games, really nothing to speak of. The midweek games are they're so tough. I mean, they just get lost in the shuffle with so much going on. Obviously, if there's ever anything to report, I always will do that. The World Series, interesting tonight. I mean, obviously the Dodgers are up to a $2, even higher favorite. Your total's at 8. I think a lot of people will, of course, come in and back Ohtani tonight. They'll be the sweetener for a lot of people's money line parlays today. Just throw the Dodgers in there. Then you're going to get the people who lay the run line, the people who lay the alternate 2.5 run line. And then I think because every pitcher was used and it was a 40-hour game last night, I think you're going to see a lot of people come in and bet the over. I think we're going to get a lot of public over money just thinking that way. And that's first 5. That's team totals. That's game. I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight with the total.
I agree. Well said. Art DiCesare, get out of here, brother. Thanks for doing this. Joe Raineri, it's time to take care of some business.
Oh, you love your business, damn it.
It's $5 Customer Appreciation Day over at WagerTalk.com. That's right, $5 a bet. And I have one of my biggest bets of the year going this Sunday. This is my first 4% NFL ATS bet this season. To give you guys perspective, I am 7-1 in NFL ATS bets this year. That's right. I've only had 8 against the spread bets this season. 8. I've won 7 of them. And in the last 4.5 years of betting NFL ATS bets in the regular season, 63%, 60 wins, 35 losses. This is probably the strongest long-term all sports record out of anybody, out of anyone at WagerTalk. This is we're closing in on 100 bets over a 4-year period. 63%. I have one up this Sunday. It's only $5. Please, please, please join me. It goes to $25 midnight PST. So $5. Get that play. And I also have a baseball play up for $5. And I am on a 13-3 baseball run. Joe, what do you got going for the clients?
Big night tonight, Prez. NBA play coming your way. I have a $5 college football play in one of these games tonight. You know me, I love these early week college football matchups here. And Art said it. Not a lot of action on them from a book perspective, which means, yeah, we can get some real value if you follow the Sun Belt and Conference USA. And I think there's some good value here tonight in one of those plays. It's $5 over at the page. But we're crushing it in NFL, college football, NBA now. We're on quite the run, Prez, here in NBA. I think a 5-0 run right now.
Nice.
And we got another one coming tonight. So all of that available over at WagerTalk.com.
There we go. Joe Raineri, Lawrence Presman, you're watching the best betting show ever. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure to comment. Joe, I auditioned for The Price is Right Canada 3 weeks ago.
There's a Canada version of Price is Right.
Yeah.
And who's with that? Drew Carey?
No, I have no freaking clue. But I've made it to the next round. I got to do a video audition later today. So if anyone has any ideas on my crazy, colorful video audition for The Price is Right Canada that I have to tape today, please send it in. Why are you rolling your eyes, Joe? How much fun would that be?
I would have been much more impressed if you got like Fear Factor Canadian edition. That would have been that I would fly up to watch. That would be a good time.
College football early bets. Let's go. Cue the clock. 2 minutes each. I will begin. Washington State -3 against Oregon State. It's a new era for this Washington State Cougars team. And it's a new era for Oregon State. They've just fired their coach. Well, not just, but a few weeks ago. The Cougars recently battled ranked teams down to the wire on the road. They beat MAC contender Toledo. New coach Jimmy Rogers has kept WSU in the mix for a bowl invite. No one saw that coming. They got a balanced offense. Their run and pass are both exactly 250 times. They've run 254 times. They've passed 254 times. They have a dual threat playmaker at QB. None of this is happening for the Beavers. The Beavers are a disaster. 0-7 start, can't get out of their own way. Washington State -3, that's short. I think they win this game by between 7 and 13. Take the Washington State Cougars -3 against the Oregon State Beavers, and we'll all cash that one together, Joe.
I love that one, Prez. Actually, to tell you the truth, because Oregon State is a nightmare. But we do have a game coming up here this week with the academies, Prez. Army and Air Force are getting ready to go at it. Now, these two teams have been anything but ordinary when it comes to totals, right? Used to be where you just go ahead and hit the under. Doesn't make a difference what it is. When the academies face one another, it's an under. Problem is, both of these teams no longer are under teams. They're over teams, mostly because Air Force's defense is hot trash. They can't stop anybody, so they give up 1,000,000 points. The line opened up right around 50, Prez. I think the total is in this one. I think it's starting to tick down a little bit, but I'm not falling for it. I think we're getting points in this one, so I am going to go against the grain and go over in the Service Academy, Army versus Air Force this weekend.
Joe Raineri, NFL. I'm going to look at, we spoke about this a little earlier, Denver playing Houston, and I'm very interested in the total here, Joe, and I think this might be a client play. I'm looking at taking the over. I understand that the Houston defense has played outstanding of late. They allowed San Fran to put up 15. San Fran, totally injured team. 15 feels more like 21, 22 to me. Seattle put up 27 on them, but before that, it was 0, 17, 20, 14. They really have a great defensive unit. And Denver's defensive unit, although I think is overrated, is still pretty rock solid. They did allow Dallas to put up 24 and the Giants 32, and they have lost Patrick Surtain. With all that said, Joe, this is more of a play on the play action pass on Denver and Houston. I think this game goes over the total. I think this is a very short number, frankly. Denver's put up 44 and 33 in their last two games. Houston's put up 26, 19, 44, and 26. Both these offenses are in rhythm right now, finally. Both of them are making long plays. This total is too short, Joe. I think this goes over. This is one of my favorite totals of the week.
You're going to go up and over in that one. And Prez, I cannot argue with that in the least bit. But what I can argue is that I don't think we're going to get a ton of points, or rather a lack of points when it comes to the Bengals taking on the Bears here. That opened up at 47.5. It's now up to 52, Prez, 52.5. And boy, do the Bengals defense suck. And boy, is the Bears defense all banged up. This is a perfect opportunity for both of these teams offensively to light up the scoreboard. We just saw the Bengals drop over 60 total points against the lowly Jets. Now, if the Jets can drop almost 40 points on the Bengals defense, I think the Chicago Bears can get theirs as well. So I got no problem backing the over. Even at this price, Prez, I think that's the way to look, the only way to look with Bengals and Bears.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me, Joe. I agree with you as well, and I don't like to agree with you on a whole. NHL rundown. It's frozen frenzy. Every single team on the board. I got 2 minutes. Let's go. Pittsburgh playing Philadelphia. I'm looking to take the over. I'm looking to take the over in every single game Pittsburgh's involved in. I lean on Philadelphia in regulation, minus 120. Toronto against Calgary. I like Toronto in regulation here. I like them a lot. And I like Calgary under team total. Vegas, Carolina. I'm looking to bet the under 6 in this game. Columbus and Buffalo. If you can find a 6, go over. I do like over 6.5 as well. Not as much. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Florida playing Anaheim. I like Anaheim team total under in this game. New York Islanders playing Boston. Joe, this is not last year's New York Islanders team. This is a team that is scoring. I like the over 6 in the New York Islanders Boston game. I do not like over 6.5, so don't bet it if all you can get is 6.5. I like Nashville against Tampa Bay. Joe, a nice plus 140 dog for you. Minnesota playing Winnipeg. I like under. The total is 6. I like that a lot. Detroit playing St. Louis. I like over. The total is 6. There are 5.5s out there. If you can get a 5.5 on that Detroit St. Louis over, that's one of my favorite plays. Dallas playing Washington. I like Dallas at minus 130. Ottawa playing Chicago. I like Chicago as a plus 120 dog. Colorado playing New Jersey. Colorado in regulation. Short revenge spot. Edmonton is going to annihilate Utah and start rolling. With that said, shout out to Utah. They're playing incredible. I like the under in the Vancouver game. I like Seattle, and I like the over in the San Jose LA Kings game. That's every game on the board. Joe, what do you got in the NBA?
That was crazy, Prez. Well done. Not as many games in the NBA here tonight, but we are going to start with the 76ers taking on the lowly Washington Wizards. And congratulations, Sixers. Joel Embiid is back. Yeah, park his ass on the bench. This is a much better team without him anywhere near the court. Hence what you saw last night against the Orlando Magic, which we gave out to our clients in winning fashion here. Listen, the Wizards, not good. The Sixers, they could score enough points to help get this thing up and over one way or the other. Speaking of over, man, you don't want to sweat out an under with the Miami Heat and the Hornets. Miami Heat playing at one of the fastest tempos that we have seen in a very long time. They've scored, 360 some odd points in a couple of games here. They have been on fire, but so have the Hornets here. I think this is going to be a fun one. The Heat are now laying 5.5, 6 points. That's a tad too many for a team like the Hornets that could match them here for a little while, point for point, but I would only look at the over there. The Knicks and the Bucks. Knicks on the road taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Neither of these teams are on the second of a back-to-back. They are coming with a little bit of rest. It feels like this is going to be whoever has the ball last. I think the Bucks at home getting points is the right way to look. And then the Thunder, who played last night, did not cover against Dallas, are back home taking on the Kings. Keep an eye on Chet Holmgren's status. He's been questionable for the last 3 games. He may sit this one out. And then, of course, the Warriors and the Clippers. This is truly the AARP game of the week, as both teams hovering around a median age of about 75. Warriors played last night. I would imagine an under is happening in this game here. I don't see either of these teams running up and down the court. I'm going to look at the under in that one there, Prez.
Joe, I love our mailbag section of the show. We get incredible comments from everybody, and I'm so appreciative of them. Matt Bartley writes, how do you guys usually approach future bets? On a whole, Joe, I make very little future bets, almost none. I'm 8-2, I think, on future bets lifetime. But I really, I'll tell you the easiest way to look at future bets for me is if I actually release a future bet, bet it, because I try my hardest to not make future bets. What about you?
To me, Prez, and this is one of the beauties of the predictive markets, right? The Kalshis and the poly markets, Prez, because that's the only place I would look to tie up money in a future bet. Why? Because I don't need the outcome to be finished one way or the other in order to make money on it, right? If I buy the contract at a certain price, I can sell it at any point until that event eventually happens. So I don't have to tie up the money. If I can always, if I get make money on it, I can cash it out at any time and go someplace else. So I would only look at future bets in the predictive markets from this point on, Press.
It's a really, really great point, Joe. A bunch of our people, Brian Davis mentions it, a few others, Kells, Fade the Wise Guys. Please don't do that, guys. I understand we're having a moment in time here where maybe the Wise Guys didn't look so good this past week in the NFL, or maybe last week in the NFL. But firstly, you did not take into account how they did in college football. You didn't take into account how they did in NHL or NBA or baseball. And on a whole, there is a reason they are wise guys. Don't make a habit of fading wise guys. It's not going to go well in the long run. Joe?
You can't... The wise guys are the books. The wise guys are always on the same sides of the books. And while, no, they're not going to win every week, the reality is you do not want to find most of your bets on the public side. That is not a winning proposition long term. So be very, very careful with just blanket statements of, wow, fade the wise. Why? Because they lost a couple of games this week? Please, ridiculous.
And lastly, Brian Davis writes, Prez, you can't bet NFL favorites, but you can bet the Jets. Every week they take everyone's money except this week. Yeah, it's a really good point, Brian, because I could be wrong here, but Joe, I think the Jets are 4-4 ATS, so people should not be scared about betting the Jets.
Listen, they have been a couple of games they were competitive, a couple of games they got absolutely blown out in, and of course they won one as a big dog. But I'll tell you this, the longer the season goes, and we just saw it this weekend, right? Expecting bad teams to do good things at a consistent level is absurd. So congratulations, 4-4 is great, but I think the time has come to stop playing the Saints, stop backing the Jets. Yeah. It's all going to come crashing down here at some point.
I never do. My clients will never get a play on the Saints or Carolina, the Jets.
No.
What a show. Tomorrow we do it again. Same time, same place. Art DiCesare, myself, Joe Raineri. Supposedly Joe's going to play bass for us tomorrow. We'll find out about that tomorrow, so stay with us. Guys, help us make this show as big as it possibly could be. Thanks for all the love, everybody. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Joe, get out of here, bro.
Boom!